will be talking to us on pulling down strongholds and by overcoming negative emotions. So first, we must understand the most common stronghold employed by the enemy to keep individual enslaved is the stronghold of negative pattern and thoughts, negative emotion and thought patterns. In which case, through the pattern is explained by what I call, and what I'm trying to do here is try and marry psychology with Bible and all of that. So God help me, so I can get this done also on time. So when I feel that I'm going out of again, time is going against me, I will try and do whatever I can to just, jump up or stop wherever the Lord wants me to stop, and Pastor will be picking up next week. So what I'm saying is, stronghold also, when we in psychology, we look at what we call ABC model. The ABC model is what we say A equals to B and B equals to C. What does that mean? It means that there's an A, which is an event. When the event happens, B is our belief system. Because of this event, I believe this way, therefore I act this way. So that's what we call ABC moment, which is kind of like a basic foundation of how we carry our lives out and things happen in our lives, basically. The dog is there, I kick the dog bites me, I go back and kick the dog even harder. And what happened? Dog maybe bite me even harder or attack me. So that's kind of life experiences in a way. In order to better understand what we're talking about, I'd like to give us a couple of scenarios. The reason is because I want us to have a deeper understanding of, one, how strong the stronghold we're talking about is, how rooted it has been from the beginning of time. Not only that, how much damage it can do to one's life if it is not controlled. Not only that, I want us to have an understanding that many people have died from using this stronghold, and many are still going to die if nothing is done about it. Not just that, I want us to know there are many homes, many families, many marriages, businesses, and even potentials has been crushed because of this stronghold called negative emotions. Not only that, I'm hoping that when we understand this issue, it will help us to see the problem as a serious one, and then help us to break that yoke and cycle so we can live the way God wants us to live. I would like to take us through these scenarios. First is to be able to understand the fundamentals of strongholds and how He has kept us captive today. Let's open our Bible to the book of Exodus, chapter 2, 11 to 18.
Exodus, chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their bodies, and he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren. Continue.
Yes.
And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me, as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. Now, when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian.
That's fine. Thank you. So in this scenario, we have seen how negative emotion is displayed, in this case of Moses. And what does that do to Moses? Some of the actions in that regard is it makes Moses to become what? A killer. If you look at it, Moses became a killer. Not just that, he became fearful, so he ran away. And not just that, it makes him to be a fugitive, a wanted man with a price on his head. That stronghold did that. That's the scenario one. The other scenario I want us to look at is that of two brothers that have the same similar problem. Let's open our Bible again to Genesis chapter 4.
Genesis chapter 4, starting from verse 1. And Adam knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou dost well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin light at thy door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up again against Abel, his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel, thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from the face, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And behold, and the Lord shall said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Thank you very much, sir. So there we have it. Another incident happened, right? Because whatever happened to him. He lost control. And what happened? Became envious. Cain got angry, became a killer. And not just that, lied, argued with God, became unrepentant. He was cursed, became a fugitive. The third scenario is what we read this morning, and that's about King Uzziah, the 16-year-old that God sustained throughout his reign. And then when he got stronger, the Bible says he was strong in his heart. He became powerful, and he became untouchable, or whatever he thought, he became untouchable. Then what happened? He wanted to do, maybe he had good intention to want to go to the temple and burn incense to the Lord, maybe to worship God, but that was not his place. He's the king of the country. But now he's so pumped up because of what God has done for him, that he wants to show that he can do or occupy the office that God has not called him to. So he began to do the same thing. Got puffed up, got angry, bullied the priest. The priest and other 80 other priests with him, and disrespectful. And at that point, what did God do? Smacked him with leprosy. A whole king, dethroned, became leprous, and then what happened? Cast out. So if you notice, there's one thing that all these people, and there's a lot of it also in the scriptures, but just these scenarios that we look at, so there's a lot of things that they have in common. And that is what we meant by negative emotions. So it is called what? Anger. I want you to say that loud with me. Anger. Anger. Right. That is what we're talking about this morning. A lot of people say, no, I don't get angry. I get it. You don't get angry. I know you're a saint. Maybe I do. But I'm going to show you whether you get angry, whether you don't get angry, depending on how you do it. That's what is important. And I'm praying maybe at the end of today, God, or you will be able to open up yourself to God to do the work of deliverance in your life. So all those prayer points that you keep bringing before the Lord can get resolved. If you look at the picture that I put on there, maybe sometimes you find yourself like that. Some people, the smoke doesn't come from there, it comes from the nose. When we're in that situation, I pray the Lord will help us. It's not just adults, only for kids as well. Any little thing, is coming out. The Lord will help us. So what are we talking about? I'm saying that anger is that stronghold we are trying to break so that we can live our lives according to God's perfect plan and will for us. So what is anger? I'll read to you a characteristic of anger before we define what anger is. Anger is that spirit that came to you, that caused you to become insensitive to the hurt that you cause other people. Not just that, anger is the spirit that makes you feel prideful, egocentric, in order to control others. What am I saying? That anger is that emotions there. When you say you want something, you want it. Or you want it in that particular way, you just want what you want. Not just that, anger is what causes you to take up offenses easily, even if the matter doesn't concern you. It concerns somebody else, but guess what? You want to make it your own case, and then you take it over, and you run with it. So now you are not talking to the person that you don't even know. Anger is what causes a parent to constantly criticize their children, nag on them, call them names. So when the child finally grow up and become a vagabond, then we are complaining and say, what happened? The devil has attacked. But no, it was during the period that we are angry that we put those curses, those strongholds into the life of those children. Anger is what makes you argue, not for the truth, but just so you can defeat the reasoning of the opponent, just because I don't want you to be right. I know I'm not right, but I don't want you to be right. And if you look at that, it goes against what the Bible said in 2 Timothy 2:23. And it reads, foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strifes. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness instructing those that oppose themselves. And if God peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth. That's the way God wanted to be, but anger makes us to do the opposite of just that. Anger is what makes you use guilt to blame others for the issues, your own personal issues, and make you unable to give or to receive forgiveness because you just want to stay where you are. Not just anger makes you harsh on the outside, sensitive on the inside. What am I saying? Anger is what you use to shield yourself, to protect yourself from pain or from further pain of rejection, despite the intense longing for acceptance and approval. Some of us want to be approved by other people, but because we have been hurt by others as well, we shield ourselves, we withdraw, we isolate. Anger will make you do that. Anger is that stronghold that holds you in captivity. It is the negative emotion we're trying to pull down today. What is it equal to so far of what I'm saying? I'm saying anger is one of the spiritual weapons the enemy, devil, uses to control our heart and our souls. If the devil is able to build an empire in our heart with resentment, malice, and bitterness, then the devil has total control of that person's destiny. So just like these three scenarios, a lot of people are going about with repressed tons and tons of anger. Anger that has been there forever that they cannot even remember. Recently, I have an opportunity to talk to a lady going through some challenges in her marriage and all of that. And when I talked to her, she just broke down. She said, I don't know. I know he cares about me. I know he loves me. But I don't know how to do this because I've held this against him for 17 years. And they're still living together. But the marriage has been there. He said, sometimes I see him at just 18. So I don't know. Part of me wants to be there. Part of me doesn't want to be there. 17 years. I looked at her. I just could only but feel sorry on the inside. And I asked her, I said, who is miserable? Is it you now that is miserable? Not just you. Put everybody in your family at danger and risk of that same destruction. God will help us. I'm saying that many of us are bogged down with stronghold of unforgiveness and bitterness resulting from our anger of the past due to a situation we cannot even remember. So because of this, we are not able to move on in the direction that God wants us to move on. Or move on to the next thing that God has in life for us because we are still tied down to the past issue of anger. So for some of us, yes, or for some of us looking at us online, they are saying, but this message is not even concerning me right now because I don't get angry. I'm not angry, I'm a good person. I'm very patient. When somebody press me, step on me, I move on. That's what I do. So the question that I want you to answer is, I have a paper, but I didn't give the paper out today. I'm going to give it back to us later so we can be able to assess ourselves and see the level of anger, whether we really have anger issue or not. But while we are doing this morning, and you have idea of what a negative emotion is, in order to help to better understand and overcome these emotions, I want to help to tell us what an emotion really is. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. As seen on the screen, emotions are regarded as lower level responses responsible for producing biochemical reaction that have a direct impact on our physical state. In summary, what am I saying? A lot of people say, I feel this way, I feel that way, I feel this way. But emotion is under that feeling. The feeling is how we kind of interpret the emotions that is underneath. Because emotion is part of our DNA. That's the way God made us. I said emotions are coded in our DNA and are thought to have developed as a way to help us respond quickly to different environmental threats, much like fight or flight response. What are emotions? Types of emotions. Emotions can be anger. Originally, during research, this is the way they look at emotions. Anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, and surprise. And after that, they did another research and then discovered that it could be also 11. And those are the other one that is listed on the other side on the screen is amusement, contempt, contentment, embarrassment, excitement, guilt, pride, relief, satisfaction, shame, and sensory pleasure. Those are emotions. Now that we have a little understanding of what emotions are, be it positive, be it negative, because not all of them are negative. Let's focus on negative emotions. According to Pam, 2013, she defines negative emotions as unpleasant or unhappy emotion which is evoked in individual to express negative effect towards an event or towards a person. What are we saying? Let us know. Negative emotions. I said it's an unpleasant or unhappy emotion which is evoked in individual to express negative effect towards an event or a person. While I was going over this slide just this morning again, I just remember a while back when I used to go get Deborah from school. She was still young in Nashville, the way in Nashville back to Laverne. So that's like about 45 minutes drive. What she loved a lot is for us to go and get a McDonald's when we pick her up. It's a long drive anyway. So this particular day, we're going to go McDonald's. I was driving her down. Before, when I would get her the McDonald's, the smell of the fries is really pleasant and I want to taste it. And I'll say, let me taste that fry. She will give me one. This particular day, I wasn't in that category. My mind wasn't there at all. I just want to ride home. Maybe I was tired. I don't even know what's going on. So she started with me. I was like, Mom, the fries is really good. I said, thank you, I don't want any. She's being kind. That was the intention. That was our primary intention. So I said, no, I'm really fine. I don't want. She said, you know you want it. And then she would take one and I'm driving. And there's traffic. I just want to go home. Mom, you know you want it. And she eat it. You know it's really good. You know you want it. So I kept saying, Deborah, stop. I don't want it. So gradually, my tone of voice, I'm becoming uncomfortable. My tone is going higher. It's going higher. My emotion, my feelings, it's going to die. Leave me alone, kind of. She's not getting it. She's having fun. So finally, I was like, I told you I don't want it. If you give me again, I'll throw it out. She was like, no, you won't. I was like, okay. So I started driving. She started again. I ignored her. I couldn't take it anymore. After a while, I went down the glass she gave me. I took the fries and I threw it out and I went back home. I could see the shock on her face, like, Mom, you did what? That is mean. Why would you do that? Now she's mad. Now she's angry. Do you see what I'm saying? To me, that's an unpleasant situation for me. And it elicits emotions of anger in her that are negative towards me. Did I curse it? She cursed it. But now she's mad at me. That's how we use our emotions sometimes. That makes it negative. She could have just stopped when I say stop. But no, she must write it. So that's human nature. So now that we know what anger is as a negative emotion, it's important for us to break that negative emotion. Why? Because our ability to win the battle of life and break stronghold that is tying us down to the same spot depends on our response to these anger feelings. Now that we've talked about all of that, what is anger? I gave you characteristics of anger and how you so you could see yourself in those that I mentioned earlier on. But now let's really talk about what anger is. Anger is a natural and inevitable response to frustration and stress. Just like I said, I got frustrated, then action followed. A equals to B, B equals to C. I threw the food out of the window. Anger can be defined as an emotion that tells us when something is wrong. In this case, anger is not negative. Secondly, it's an emotion that provides motivation. Something is happening, I don't like it, it pushes me to want to do better. It gives me energy to do something about what I'm feeling that is wrong. That is God's primary purpose for giving us that emotion of anger. Anger in itself is not a bad emotion, like I said. However, anger becomes a negative emotion and a problem when we lose control, when we hurt others or ourselves in the process. The example was seen in the case of Cain and Abel. Abel didn't do anything to Cain. He did not. He just basically did his own thing and make sacrifice to God based on what he has. But the brother that is a tiller of ground, he did his own thing also. God accepted one thing, one. Why? I don't know. I don't know their state of mind when they were presenting it to God. The same way in our lives, I don't know what's going on in your life. Why will I just be picking on you and be mad at you and be jealous of what you are? I don't know how you get to where you get to. So why am I going to be mad at you for no reason? But that's kind of what happened. And because of that jealousy, look at that emotion in there. He created anger. And that resulted in him getting himself destroyed. In other words, anger can be used as positive or negative emotion, but the difference is the choice that we make. Some people used to say when you talk about anger, they say, but Jesus Christ also was angry. He went into the temple and then he did all of that stuff that he did and flipped the table. That, in a way, is considered a righteous anger. Because that was something that was not right. And it was wrong, and he was trying to right the wrong by doing that. We can also see an example from the beginning of time. So for you to know that anger is something that is so hard to break, and it's there in the foundation and in the creation of the world. God got angry. First with that time of Noah. He created everybody, all right. But then he realizes that the purpose which I created these people for is not what they are carrying out. Only few people that were there are the ones that were saved at the beginning of time. He just decided to kill everybody. Negative emotion comes in there. He used it as a righteous thing to correct the wrong, thinking if I wipe all these ones off, these ones will do the right thing that they're supposed to. But what happened? He didn't there. There they multiply. What happened again? If you go into Exodus 26, similar stuff happened. Moses went on the mountain. God, the 10 Commandments. What happened when he came down from the mountain? Aaron is already busy giving them another God to follow. God was wroth. That's what the Bible says. God was wroth. And what did he do? He asked Moses to destroy them. Not just destroy them, he made them destroy each other. He said, they fall. Take your sword, fall on your own brethren. Anger will do that. Anger as a negative emotion. We've talked about this from the scriptures. I want us to quickly look at it in the scientific terms. You see that thing that they have been putting in there, the slide that has anger that he has been putting there. Not this one, the one maybe before. It's a lot, I'm not going to focus on that. And he says, but I want to pick one or two things out of that. Anger is a choice as well as a habit. a result of our thinking. Sometimes easier to deal with than the real emotions that we are feeling. Maybe we are feeling sad. We are feeling rejection. We are feeling all of that. Instead, what do? We hide under the anger. I'm afraid to do something. I'm afraid to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you, so I'm mad. So I can keep you in arm's length. Not just that, it's often used as a defense mechanism to cover up again feelings that are under. When you don't want to talk about something, when somebody don't want to give you a feedback and know what they are talking about, you are the right place before. When you are doing what is wrong and they are trying to tell you what is wrong, that's exactly what you do in there. You become defiant, you become defensive. And finally, anger, it hurts, disappointment, fears, embarrass, loneliness, and all of that. Those are things that we are trying to cover up when we are feeling anger. The emotions of hurt, the emotions of disappointment, emotions of fears that we feel, embarrassment, loneliness, and anxiety. If I let them know that I have weakness in this area, what will they think? Who will they think I am? So before they say anything, you jump on their case. You take away the focus from you and put it on the other person. So we can say for the most part, anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, hostility. How then do you recognize anger? Signs of anger, scientifically, this is what they see happen. Dry mouth, increased head, look at the list. Tense muscles, sweat, numbness, trembling, crying, difficulties. Some people just go, just like that picture I showed before, and the smoke is coming out in their face. We used to mess with my husband. He doesn't need to tell you that he's not pleasant about the situation. He's in his face. We just see it in his face and we'll be like, what's going on there? The good thing about him is the moment you call it out, it helps him to regroup. He just regroup and be like, what's all that? I had a guy talk to me one time. He said, I'm here to talk to you about this. I don't know why I feel this way. He said, but my boss told me that anytime I'm in a meeting, he doesn't need to take anybody's feedback. If the meeting is going well or not, he can see it on my face. And that's too predictable. You give people too much power over your life. If there's a reason I don't like to get angry, it's for that reason. That is too much power and control of my life. When I become vulnerable with you in anger, I won't give that to anybody to make me go from point A to point B. Because he caused it. He caused it, but you have a choice. Rather than giving to weakness at that moment. God will help us. So there's one thing I want us to realize is that we are all open to the influence of anger because we are all made in the image of God. Like I said earlier on, it's in our DNA. And if God could show anger, so if you are here and you are saying, I don't have anger problem, I want you to check again. When you see these things manifest in your life, this might be an indication that you have anger problem. A lot of people and a lot of circular stuff out there is talking about anger management. I don't want to take you to that place today. That makes this really difficult for me when I was trying to prepare for it, to know how to take you. So I had to really wait on God to say, okay, Lord, what is it you want me to talk about? I don't want to stand academically and just let it go over your head, but I want to speak to your heart about anger so we can work on it, or we can help our children, or help our family member work on it. Okay. So what are we saying now? The issue is not that you are angry. The problem and the issue is, what do you do when you get angry? Ephesians 4:26 says, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go on your wrath. You see, that's the Bible's command. You could be angry, but you cannot sin. That is where the gray line is in there. That we have the emotions, it works for a purpose, but we cannot stay on it. A lot of us stay on that emotions. We enjoy it. Because we don't want the other person to feel like what they did to us was good, what they did to us was right or justified. So we keep riding on anger. And then it begins to pull out families. It breaks down marriages. It breaks down businesses. It hinders you from getting the promotion that you're supposed to get. A lot of people date. The moment they show that element one time, guess what happened? Pew! I'm out of here. I'm not going to be able to deal with this. Then they lose out. Maybe that's who God wants them to marry. They lose out of that. All because of anger. So, when you are tempted to become bitter, what do you do about it? And how do you handle it without becoming a sin? Some people, I want to talk about it now, how to respond to anger. People respond in a different way to anger. So the fact that you are not yelling does not mean you are not angry, like I said before. So some repress their anger because it's depression. Some avoid anger, it becomes self-criticism. They criticize themselves. They think that something or whatever is going on with them, and some, one way or the other, they turn into what we call bipolar. They are 0 in the morning, and the next minute you're talking to them, they are 100 level. So you're going, I thought we are kind of laughing right now. What just happened? What did I say? And some internalize. And when you internalize, it means you bottle it up. We puff and poof and do all of that. And finally, it's like an volcano that just erupts. The Lord will help us. So my question to you is, how do you express this emotion? Do you freeze when you're in that situation? Do you fight or do you run? Okay. Another thing I want us to understand is that anger can be dangerous. Whether you freeze, whether you run, whether you fight, anger can be dangerous. Well, how so? Anger can be dangerous because even though the Lord wanted to be for protection, we can either use it for, I will call it righteous anger, so we can either use it to protect or to destroy at the same time. We call it either constructive anger or destructive anger. So the other one is unrighteous anger, and that is a destructive anger. That is the one we've been focusing on, that we've been talking about according to that passage that we just read. Destructive anger is the one that can destroy good things in your life. It keeps you in bondage, and it's this time that costs you the marriage and everything that I just mentioned. So now that we have a quick idea of what anger is, and you see I'm kind of rushing because I'm looking at time, and why is a negative emotion and a stronghold, the question is, what purpose does anger serve in your own life? When you do your yelling, why do you do it? When you fight, when you become aggressive, when you beat your kids, when you stand up before your husband or husband beating the wife and we're doing all of that, or we're sending those nasty texts and all that exchange, why do you do it? So let me give you an idea as to some reasons why people get angry. Many people get angry because of unfulfilled expectation. When life does not go the way we want life to go, we get angry. Not only that, people get angry when we feel there's evil and injustice. What you're doing to me is not right. We're frustrated. Yes, we have every right to be angry. You have a tenant that is downstairs and is blowing music, and they will not stop. Yes, you could go downstairs and say, please, can you turn it down? You have that choice to go and talk to that person, or to go to the office and say, can you talk to this person? Or you have that choice to go there with your stick and bang that door down. I've come here 20 times and I've told you to stop and you didn't stop. And we attack the people because it's injustice. And when we perceive something is wrong and somebody has done something wrong to us, when there's denial or loss, we use anger at that point. Sometimes it may be the promotion that we think we qualify for and they are not giving it to us, or the matter promised us and they are not giving us. It can make us angry. Or when there is loss, I have people that have said they are angry at God in this area of their life, because whatever it is that they are looking up unto God didn't come at that right time, and then they are mad at God. Our kids says they are mad at God because he took their grandparent away. A lot of things that we don't understand, but yet we are angry. We made that choice to choose anger over the Creator that can turn our situations around. We are mad sometimes when we misunderstood. We are misunderstood, or we are misrepresented. When we are misrepresented, sometimes they feel like, that's not who I am. I didn't do that. Why would they lie? They lied about me. They lied about that. I didn't do that. Yes, they've done all of that. Allow God time to reveal the secret, to search it for you, and to vindicate you, rather than fight for yourself. And now you want to fight. Now you want to break something down. Earlier on, when I first got to the United States, for some reason I just remember that it's been a long time. And I was thinking, well, why did I remember this? Maybe it was because of the nature of the hangar. I was supposed to stay in somebody. I just gave my paper, I wasn't here yet. So, of course, I can't get a house, I can't get anything, I don't have social security. But the bottom line is, I was supposed to sleep a room in a house with somebody. So, but somebody was taking me there to see. They are the one that kind of prepared the place for me. So when we went there, the lady was there, the husband was there. The husband doesn't stay there, but the lady lived by herself. So I was just supposed to live with her. So the friend that was taking me there didn't know the husband before. He didn't even know the husband. But when we got there and he saw the husband, I guess they both know each other for some reason. And maybe they've had some issue in the past. I am new. I don't have a clue what is going on over there. But I just noticed that everybody greeted everybody. We talked about the money. We talked about everything. And the lady said, okay, fine. When are you coming? I was like yesterday, I can come today, I can come tomorrow. Then all of a sudden, they started talking about something with their husband. And before you know it, feast is beginning to happen. I was shocked, like, okay, how did we get from that to here? It just went from 0 to 100. Bottom line, there was a misunderstanding from the person that took me and this guy's husband. And then there's a problem. All because we asked one question, the husband reacted to the question as, what are you talking about? So what do you mean? It was a spiritual question. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he got mad about the question. So rather than both of them to say, okay, I didn't mean it like that, boom! It just started going down. And before you know, it went down the drain. And I lost out because then I am the one that suffered it. Maybe that's what I remember. Because I couldn't now live with the woman. So that created a loss for me. So the other thing is, most people are angry basically because of unforgiveness, especially people in the church. People that are born by God, by the blood of Jesus Christ, are redeemed. We still carry unforgiveness. He did that to me. I cannot let it go. Today, just like that music was saying, come to the Lord. I want us to come to the Lord today. And if you open your heart, I believe the Lord will give us deliverance. So unforgiveness is another one. Now I'm going to go first. I'm joining to something else that I need to talk to. So basically the danger of unforgiveness, the danger of anger, is holding on to it for too long. It transforms itself into bitterness. It transforms itself into hatred and malice. I'm never going to talk to him again. I'm never going to talk to her again. Because it did this. You become resentful. You become bitter. And we used to say to people, forgiveness is for the forgiver. It's not for you. It's not for that person. It's for you, rather, that is forgiven, because it is your heart. And you are the one putting yourself in bondage. You are the one the devil is holding down because of your unresolved issues. You cannot move forward. Even if your blessing is in the hand of that person, that God wants to use that person for you, you already put a wall there because you don't want to forgive. I'm never talking to that person. They say that all the time. I'm thinking, why are you in therapy? What are you here to do if I'm saying, let's process this, let's let it go, and you're going, no, I'm not going to let it go. Why do you want me? Why are you telling me that I'm the only one that has to make adjustment? Why can't that person do the same? I don't have the person in front of me, I have you. If you can choose you and make that choice for you, you can't make choice for another person. That is the problem. We want to control the other person. We want the other person to do what it is we want them to do. We want to be able to have them and roll them like dice on our palms. And it's not possible, because even God can't do that to us. How many of you did God say, oh, go and do ABC, and you say, God, are you really? No, that's not God, that's the devil. And you're not doing it. But you want somebody to do stuff the way you has to be done. And when they say no to you, when they say, oh, okay, thank you, maybe you give them suggestions, and they say, oh, I'll think about it. You're mad. Why are you angry about that? It's all because of control. And I pray that today the Lord will break them in our life. That holds a basic and a strong hold in our lives. We pray here at Lifelong Anointing Church. God has given us tons and tons of promises of what He's going to do in our lives. Sometimes we sit back with pastor and we say, but we know God has done this. God can still do this. Why are we praying for these people? And you are showing us that this is happening. But we haven't seen it materialize. It's because there's a struggle sometimes in people's lives. And these are why we are looking at this, because those are areas we are not looking at in our lives. And those are sins that the enemy uses as an open door to come in and bombard us and change us. I pray the Lord will help us in Jesus' name. Okay. So, anger can break fellowship. I'm jumping out of consequences or how anger can impact your life. It could break fellowship. Look at Moses, he had to flee. You know the story of Moses? He was what? A prince, adopted prince in there. He now became somebody that had to run away as a result of anger. So he can't even come back because the king wants to kill him at this point. He lost everything. The royal, whatever he used to enjoy when they see him and say, oh, that's Moses. He can't even do that. Biggest guy has to go where? Afflict himself, all because of anger. And if you notice, whatever happened with Moses the first time, it's not even what Moses needs to bother himself with. It's two people fighting. He sees it as injustice. He has good intention. But he didn't need to kill somebody because of that. He didn't need to kill anybody. But again, of course, like we say in America, it's bipolar. I guess it's bipolar kicked in, and then he killed the guy. Not just that. Impact of anger. It can impact relationship negatively. Proverbs said it's better to live in the desert than with a conscientious, ill-tempered wife or her husband or your relationship. It breaks that communication line. It makes you not want to be there. Anger will do that. If you look at the case of Vashti and the king, when in Esther chapter 1 and the Bible is talking about the king wants to show off the beauty of Esther. And Esther said, Vashti said, no, I'm not going to do that. Some people say it's pride. Sometimes I'm saying maybe this lady is a Christian and is saying, I'd rather obey God, but I'm not going to do that. There's a loss in there either way. Because she lost her position, but it's not just that people don't talk about. The king lost a wife that he takes so much pride in. If Vashti was his possession, he just lost Vashti because out of anger, they made a rule. It wasn't even the one that made that decision. They made the decision for him to cast away his wife. He couldn't have any say. Why? Because he put his case out there. Some of us, out of anger, put our cases out there in the hands of the enemy. You're angry at your mother, then you give it to the whole world. The person that don't like your mother already, or don't like your father, or don't like your husband or your wife already, they don't even like you. The friend that don't like you to start with, now that you are blabbing all your life story to them, guess what happened? Then they put fire. That's an open door. The enemy comes and gives the stronghold and tells you, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. There are a lot of cases where husband and wife are fighting and they are telling the friend, and the friend will say, you're going to take that. Don't take that. Go. You need to leave him. You need to leave him now. You need to leave her. And guess what? 2 or 3 months or 6 months after, the friend moved in. He's married to your husband. He's married to your wife. Because of anger. How silly things we do. What silly things we do to put ourselves in bondage. I pray the Lord will help us. What has anger cost you in your own life? What has it cost me? In the past or in the present? Think about what is what. People don't even want to talk to you now. In certain situations, they don't want to have anything to do with you because of fear that if we try and talk to this person, this is what this person is going to do. So they avoid you like plague. Anger will destroy communication. Anger leads to destruction. Again, based on the priest. Look at that Uzziah situation. The old king that God raised, right from 16, God has been working with him. Gave him power, gave him victory, gave him blessings. All because of that anger. Anger due to what? Pride. Wanting to be able to be a priest as well as as a king. This is a mighty king. He thinks he can just go into the office of a pastor also. And then he became angry. He lost everything. Anger will do that. Anger leads to destruction. Not only that, anger leads to judgment. Judgment. God judged him and smite him with leprosy. Not just that, God judged the children of Israel and he killed them. I don't know what you're feeling while you're sitting there and listening to me, but I want you to think in your heart. This anger that you are still holding, this malice that you are still holding, all these of issues that you are carrying and it's brooding and it's not going anywhere. Where is it going to take you? Is it bringing blessings into your life? Or is it bringing depression, oppression into your life? And you lost peace all because of this. You can't even sleep. Oh, I have to get it out. Oh, I can't say that. Growing up, I used to think when people have messed with me, it's a long story. I don't know how to answer when people are mad at me and they are just yelling and they're just doing that. I don't know how to answer. But then I see somebody answer like that. For me, I would have gone home and I'll think about it and I'll cry about it. I'll be like, why can't I say this? When they say that, I should have said this. I should have said this. Then I'm thinking about it after the fact. So, and it's painful and it's hurtful. I just kneel down and I will just pray, God, just help me. And the Spirit of God will be like, it's okay. Whatever they call you, I didn't see it. On your forehead. Oh, because they call me this name, because they say this, because they say that. I used to work with kids. First time they call me the B word. I'm going, Lord, what kind of life is this? I moved from Maryland to Tennessee. And I'm working with these kids. This is not me. I'd rather be a chemist than be here. But there's no chemist job in Tennessee when I came. I had to go to Head Start. Head Start gives you reason to be mad every single day. If you're not mad at the kid, you'll be mad at the mother. That's where God threw me. And the kids will curse, and they will curse, and they will. I've never had the amount of curses that I've had in my life working with those population. What am I going to do? Curse them back? So one day, they've been doing it to every teacher. I'm calling them B and do this. So I sat there, I would sit there. So one boy, that boy, everybody in the whole school knows that is that kind of a guy. So when the class, we shut the door, things were going, he's just going up and down, up and down. I was assistant teacher. I was floating, whatever they call me there. So I don't know what I was trying to get him down so he doesn't hurt himself. And he said, leave me alone, B. That went to a different place that day. That's when I knew that everybody has the ability to work. Use language. I said, hey, did you just call me that? I said, okay, I'm a woman. So your grandma is a B. Your mother is a B. Your sister is a B. I started listing all the women in their house. I said, everyone in your house that is a woman, they are bees. Because all the women in the whole world are bees. This boy looked at me confused. Because nobody has ever stand up to him. But I had enough. The teacher looked at me like, is everything okay? Is everything okay? But when we finished, they were going, yes! Yes! Yes, that somebody stood out to him. Do you know since that day, that boy don't mess with me? Just one time. I didn't go ballistic. I didn't slap him because that's what everybody does. They say, I told you, and everything is coming out of their faces and all of that. That's all I needed to say there. Since I am one, your mother is, everybody, this person is. He just looked at me like, okay. And the boy left me alone. So it's a choice that we make. I could have still let it go and don't answer this boy. But sometimes I know we have genuine reason to flip. But I'm saying today we can ask God to help us to regulate our emotions because it creates divisions. And anger can poison everything we've ever worked for. Not just that, it can cause a lot of losses in our lives. Now that we have seen all of that, I want to submit to you that a woman and a man that will overcome anger must first of all admit and recognize that yes, they have anger issues. Colossians 3:8 says, but now ye also put off all this, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. I didn't write that. The Bible is asking us today to do this. In order to break the stronghold in our lives, in order to be able to cross from where we are from point A to point B, He's asking us to do that. How do we do that? Is by recognizing the fact that we have anger. Not just that, we need to admit and be willing to change. Not just that, we need to repent and forsake our ways. I don't know how you've been doing yours, but today is not a judgment day. Today you could go sincerely at the bottom and say, Lord, I know I'm weak in this area. I know I'm weak in that area. And I know that I'm weak in this area. But I know that I can depend on you because of your word. You said, he that covereth his sin shall not prosper. But whosoever confess and forsake them shall have mercy. I know you're a merciful God. Help me in this area. When your tone of voice is going up, there's an issue there. When you can't say one or two things without snapping, there's an issue there. When you just get fumed and there's irritation because somebody do something, there's an issue there. Constructive, destructive feedback, you can't take it without, there's an issue there. And devil knows. That little window that you open, that moment of insanity, of anger, is when the devil pushing. Deposit all the other spirit you want to deposit inside of you, seal it up. So by the time you now say, yes, I gave them the peace of my mind. My mother used to say something. She said, I put Jesus aside today. My mom is a very, very quiet person. But when you push her to that point, you say, no, today, honestly, I had to put Jesus aside and give them the peace of my mind. So I was say, so you put Jesus on the side and give them the peace of your mind. What if that time that you put Jesus on that side, on that chair, is when the trumpet sound? Just for that little moment that you want to show, you're rejecting, you don't want them to believe you, right? And you engage in that moment, just that moment. What will you do at that time? So I'm asking you to forgive and to release. I don't know who you are holding in your mind today. I don't know who has wronged you. Yes, you have a genuine reason to do that, to hold them. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying the anger originally by God was put there for protection, not to be used to the extreme in which we're using it, not to be used as a keeper of offenses. There is grace and there is power today to forgive. God is still here today. He can help you to forgive. I will read this in closing. If everything I said doesn't make sense, or you don't even think it still concerns you. In closing, Hebrew chapter 12, reading from verse 14 says, follow peace with all men, and holiness without which no man shall see the Lord. Looking diligently, lest any man should fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble, and thereby many may be defiled. Basically, the Bible is saying follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Looking diligently, lest any man fail or fall of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby may be defiled. Are you defiled this morning? Have you been defiled with negative emotion? And that emotion of anger is keeping strong hold of the enemy over you, and your life is going upside down, spiraling out of control. You want it to go this way, but it's going this way, and you don't know how to stop it. It tells you have no control over it by yourself, apart from the choices that you are making. But God can break that stronghold of anger, of bitterness, unforgiveness, malice, resentment, frustration. I can continue on the list, but time will not let me. But I think I've said enough for us to say, Lord, I want this second part of the year to be different. I don't want to carry stronghold in my life anymore. I don't want to give the devil the power to control me or my children or my situation anymore. I want to live for you, and I need you to help me.